The story begins with a man about to speak. Just as the man is about to speak, his brain is instantly scanned. This is the top cutting-edge technology of the future world. Anyone whose life is about to end, as long as they complete a brain scan before their final breath, can transfer their personal consciousness into a virtual world and live forever. Not long ago, Nathan was in a car accident and rushed to the hospital in critical condition. The doctors were actually fully confident they could save him, but Nathan was afraid the rescue attempt would fail and he'd die anyway, so he decisively chose to enter the virtual world to continue his life instead. The next moment, a gentle female voice appears in Nathan's mind. She introduces herself as his dedicated AI concierge, Nora, ready to appear and help him at any time. Nathan ignores her, lying alone on the bed, silently crying. This sudden drastic change is something he simply can't accept. Nora has seen this kind of emotional breakdown countless times before in new arrivals. She casually swipes across her control panel to put Nathan into a deep sleep, types a few lines of code, and even thoughtfully tucks him in under the blanket. The next morning, Nathan wakes from his sleep. His low mood has finally eased a little, and he decides to properly explore this brand new world. He walks over to the bedside cabinet and gently swipes the screen. All kinds of delicious snacks are available. At the window, he touches a dedicated button nearby, and the scenery outside instantly shifts from autumn to spring. He heads downstairs to the resort's buffet restaurant to eat. It's packed with all sorts of high-end, exquisite dishes. Imported bacon, French toast, the works. Just as Nathan can't help marveling at how wonderful everything here is, a system announcement suddenly chimes through the lobby, and the delicious food he's just picked up instantly vanishes into thin air. This sudden turn of events leaves Nathan completely shaken. He walks out of the hotel to clear his head, but slowly starts noticing how strange this virtual world really is. Although the scenery here is stunning and the environment extremely pleasant to live in, even every single leaf is labeled with its place of origin. He wanders repeatedly to the lakeside to look around, and happens to run into a man filming a promotional ad for the area. Curious, he asks why this whole area seems to have almost no one in it. The man explains that this district actually has countless layers of space. Ordinary newcomers can only see the top 5 layers. The sparse population people see is just a surface illusion visible to the naked eye. Beneath this seemingly calm, spacious lake are actually millions of virtual world residents. Because the number of residents has long since exceeded system capacity, even when someone jumps into the water, the visuals lag and stutter. It turns out this eternal life, virtual world is restricted at every turn, nowhere near as perfect and free as the advertising claims. Deeply disappointed, Nathan turns and heads back to the hotel. Along the way, all the white-toothed service robots keep glitching and repeating errors, and even the gum vending kiosk keeps freezing and malfunctioning. Nathan finally snaps completely. He storms straight toward the data stream boundary between the virtual and real worlds, determined to break through the barrier and return to reality. His dedicated concierge Nora appears immediately and stops him just in time, warning him that touching the data stream would cause him to be instantly and completely erased. True to her experience as a seasoned concierge, Nora patiently talks him down through several rounds of persuasion, successfully calming his rage and getting him to abandon the idea of returning to the real world. Nora then suggests Nathan try pet therapy. Adopting a pet is said to be effective at healing negative emotions. It turns out even the pets are virtual simulated products. Behind the dog is actually a greasy middle-aged man chatting live through it. The virtual dog assigns Nathan a small task: proactively get to know other virtual residents in the area, which is supposed to be effective in lifting him out of his emotional slump. Back at the hotel entrance, Nathan runs into an old man who strikes up a friendly conversation with him. The old man admits that in life he had been a top-tier billionaire, then asks Nathan about his own career and life before death. Nathan says he was just an ordinary software developer who once built an app but can't remember its name. The only thing he clearly remembers is its core function: letting anyone build their own private virtual world and experience eternal, happy life at zero cost. This remark suddenly snaps Nathan out of his confusion. He immediately goes to find Nora and tells her he suspects part of his key memory is missing. Nora recalls that when Nathan's data was first uploaded, part of his memory files had indeed been corrupted and lost. To help Nathan uncover the truth, Nora repairs the damaged memories, and a scene surfaces showing what really happened before Nathan's car accident. It turns out he had partnered with his close friend Jamie to develop the software. The two of them got into a fierce argument over whether to sell it, and partway through, an investor stepped in to ask about the deal. Nora tells Nathan the full truth, concluding that his death in the car accident definitely wasn't what it seemed. Nathan immediately decides to call his best friend to confirm, someone he'd grown up with since childhood. He calls repeatedly but no one ever picks up. Reluctantly, Nathan has no choice but to put the investigation on hold for now. A few days later, shocking news breaks. The investor has been deliberately murdered, his head completely destroyed by an explosive. Both key leads are now cut off, leaving Nathan completely stuck, unable to dig any further into the truth. Meanwhile, Nathan's cousin has never given up on the investigation. She tracks down the self-driving car Nathan was in when the accident happened, wanting to pull up the surveillance footage from that night, but the car's system shows no record was ever saved. She learns that besides Nathan, his girlfriend Ingrid also frequently drove that same car. She immediately confronts Ingrid face to face, demanding to know why, when Nathan clearly still had a chance to be saved at the hospital, Ingrid had insisted on convincing him to upload into the virtual world instead. Was it because she was after the death compensation payout from the car manufacturer? Ingrid doesn't take the cousin's questioning seriously at all, tosses out a few insults and walks off without a care. The cousin doesn't give up and goes looking for other leads instead. This time she pulls the convenience store surveillance footage from that night, and sure enough, it captures a suspicious moment right after Nathan enters the store. Ingrid's figure quietly appearing near the car. The next day, the cousin brings the surveillance evidence ready to go to the police. But suddenly all the lights inside her car shut off automatically, the car accelerates wildly out of control, and no matter how much she screams for it to brake, nothing works. The car, with her still inside, plunges straight into the deep sea and sinks. Before she can ever tell Nathan the truth, the cousin is silenced and killed by the mysterious forces lurking behind all of this. Sometime later, the conflict between Nathan and Ingrid intensifies, and he finally makes up his mind to end things with her for good. In a panic, the intensely possessive Ingrid lets something slip. Realizing she said too much, she immediately disappears offline to dodge further questions. This leaves Nathan completely shattered mentally. He's desperate to cut ties with Ingrid entirely, but all of his living expenses in the virtual world have always been funded by her top-ups. He has no choice but to go to Nora and apply to move down to the second-tier zone, the slum district of the virtual world. Deeply worried about what Nathan's life will be like there, Nora specially takes him to see the real conditions of the second-tier zone in advance, showing him what daily survival looks like for the virtual world's lower-class residents. Residents there only get a second-tier data quota each month. Once the quota runs out, they freeze completely, unable to move at all. Unless someone tops up their account to restore their data, they'll stay locked in that frozen state indefinitely. Their only form of entertainment is reading ebooks, but with free access they can only read the first 5 pages. To keep reading, they have to pay to unlock the rest. Once morning comes, Nathan, now cut off from his source of income, will have to move from the wealthy district down into this lower-rated zone. Night falls. Nathan returns to his private hotel room, and the system forcibly locks him into deep sleep mode. Tonight, the virtual world is set to undergo a massive system-wide update. All residents must be fully asleep, or it will trigger all kinds of fatal system bugs. Unexpectedly, in the middle of the night, Nora secretly wakes Nathan up. It turns out that staying conscious during the update is an opportunity to recover lost memories. Nathan sits up in bed and calmly waits as the system update proceeds. Just then, a major warning message pops up from the system. Recovering his past memories will come with a side effect. Nathan will completely forget every experience he's had in the virtual world, including all the time he spent with Nora. Deep down, Nora has already fallen genuinely in love with Nathan, but to help him uncover the truth about his death, she's willing to be forgotten. She resolutely confirms and agrees to start the memory recovery process. The next day, Nathan finally unlocks his complete memories and fully understands the truth behind his death in the car accident. It turns out he and his close friend had firmly refused to sell their software. The investor happened to be the father of Nathan's ex-girlfriend, who had privately arranged to meet Nathan alone, hoping to secretly buy the software at a high price behind his friend's back, offering an enormous sum of money. It turns out Nathan was actually the one who had betrayed his friend. What's even more heartbreaking is that Nathan now clearly remembers every moment he shared with Nora. Consumed by guilt, he doesn't dare face her directly, and quietly packs his things to move down to the second-tier district. The mere act of thinking it over for a moment alone burns through 3 terabytes of his data. At that point, Nora comes to find him herself, showing up at his room. Nathan has no choice but to confess all his wrongdoing and sincerely apologize. Soft-hearted, Nora ultimately chooses to forgive him. Meanwhile, back in the real world, a crisis suddenly unfolds. Someone discovers their window has mysteriously opened on its own. Walking up to the mirror to check, they discover a hitman standing right behind them. They immediately turn and flee with the hitman close behind. This tense scene happens to be witnessed by Nathan from start to finish. He immediately pulls out his prized virtual tracking tool and, using his exceptional hacking skills, locks onto both of their locations. Remotely, he directs Nora to quickly hide in an elevator to stay safe, while luring the hitman into the adjacent elevator. Nathan remotely locks the elevator doors and controls the elevator to rapidly shoot up and down. In the middle of this high-speed maneuver, he successfully takes out the hitman, saving Nora from a fatal threat. But that incredible stunt burns through an enormous amount of data. Nathan's account is left with only 0.1 units of usable data remaining. A neighbor next door can't resist mocking him over it, but Nathan stays calm and composed, not bothering to react. Not long after, Nora, now safe from danger, calls him. Nathan doesn't dare turn on video and only answers by voice. Nora admits that even knowing Nathan had once done wrong by betraying his friend, and even though it was his involvement that pulled her into all this danger, she still fell completely and irrevocably in love with him. Nathan stays silent, giving no response at all. The scene cuts to Nathan's data being completely drained and his account frozen solid, but a single bitter tear quietly slips from the corner of his eye. Just then, Nathan's ex-girlfriend suddenly appears and immediately tops up his account with 1 gigabyte of data. She then, with deep emotion, confesses her true feelings to him. In order to stay by his side forever without ever being apart, she chooses to move into the virtual world permanently, with no way to ever leave. And with that, the film comes to an end. If you enjoyed this recap, hit subscribe so you never miss the next one.